Welcome to another edition of the news in Africa and the world. Opening in Africa, the Ivorian Popular Front, the FPI, of Along Dougou, second deputy chair of the Independent Electoral Commission, has decided to withdraw from the new Independent Electoral Commission. It is the same for the LMP party, League for the Movement for Progress, representative of the opposition within the CEI Central Commission. A bitter pill for the commission to swallow, seeing its legitimacy crumbling and its functioning size up. Of the 4 seats allocated to the opposition in the central body, 3 are empty. The PDCI remained vacant when the representative refused to take the oath at the last second in mid-September, and now they are from the AFD, of which the FPI is part and the LMP left since Wednesday. Authorities require a reorganization of the Independent Electoral Commission before any participation and control of the electoral process. One member of the opposition is still an active member of the Central Committee, Henriette Lagu Ajua, proposed by the RPC Peace Party. In Mali, the military junta has published a charter for the transition period that establishes a procedure of handing over power to a civilian government. Such a report was among the demands of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, for lifting sanctions imposed after the coup. ECOWAS also demanded clarification of the role of the vice president. Because of that, the charter does not say that the vice president can vie for power even if the interim head of state is unable to discharge his or her duties, report said Thursday. On September 12, the military approved the basic law and roadmap for the transition period after consultations with political and civil society figures. The sides agreed that the transition period will last 18 months. The current transition president, Mbando, former defense minister, took an oath on September 25th. Assimi Goïta, the leader of the National Committee for the Salvation of the People, the NCSP, mutiny body, was named a vice president. The outing of former President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta and the kidnapping of several ministers led to the dissolution of the government and the parliament. Few days after the appointment of a new prime minister, the list of new government was unveiled on Thursday, October 1 in Togo. 15 new entries are to be reported in the new team headed by Victoire Tomega Dogbe. The names of several ministries have been changed. 11 ministers were also retained to their post in the new team of 33 members. Like the latter, 2 other ministers have changed portfolios. Thus, Antoine Lekpa Begbeni, the former Minister of Water and Village Hydraulics, becomes Minister of Agriculture, Livestock and Rural Development, and Kathari Foli Bazil, until then in charge of Communication and Sport, was appointed to the Department of Environment and Forest Resources in the new government. The new government is expected to strive to revitalize national economy hard hit by the coronavirus pandemic, step up economic and administrative reforms, achieve national reconciliation and promote democracy, legal framework and good governance. Out of Africa, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced on Twitter that he and the First Lady, Melania Trump, have tested positive for the coronavirus and are beginning a quarantine process. The tweet was made early Friday, October 2020, with Trump adding they were to get through this together. The information comes after one of Trump's closest advisors, Hope Hicks, was reported to have tested positive for the coronavirus on Thursday. They had traveled to Cleveland for his first debate with Joe Biden, his challenger. With just 32 days left before the U.S. presidential election, this development could impact the polls. President Trump's physician says Trump is well and will continue to perform his duties without disruption while in quarantine at the White House. President Trump, being 74, is said to be at higher risk of serious complications from the virus. His contamination comes in as he rarely wears a mask and ridiculed others, including his challenger Joe Biden, for doing so regularly. It is worth noting that more than 200,000 people have died of the coronavirus in the United States, with the elderly and those with pre-existing conditions, especially heart heat. European Union leaders have this early Friday agreed to impose sanctions on dozens of senior officials in Belarus accused of falsifying presidential election results and leading a crackdown on peaceful protesters after unlocking a veto against the move by one of the EU's smallest member countries. At the extraordinary European Council meeting, European Union leaders approved sanctions against some 40 Belarusian officials. In an embarrassing standoff, Cyprus had insisted that its EU partners take action against Turkey for its energy exploration work in disputed waters of the Mediterranean island nation's coast before it will agree to the Belarus sanction. But after several hours of talks, the leaders agreed on a strong statement of support for Cyprus as well as of Greece, and a stern warning to Turkey that it could face punitive measures if it continues the undersea drilling work. Lukashenko is not under the approved sanction, says European Council President Charles Michel. The leader, once dubbed Europe's last dictator, could be added to the list at a later date should he refuse to enter into talks with the opposition. And still, Brussels has taken legal action against the United Kingdom over its plans to pass legislation that will breach part of the legally binding divorce agreement the two sides reached late last year. The European Commission had given the British government until the end of September to withdraw the controversial provision from its internal market bill, which it unveiled earlier this month. The EU Commission chief Ursula von der Leyen said the Commission has decided to send a letter of formal notice to the UK government, the first step in an infringement procedure. The UK government, which has 1 month to reply to the Commission's letter, reiterated in a statement that the bill is designed to create a legal safety net to protect the integrity of the UK's internal market. Both sides are trying to forge an elementary free trade agreement between the end of the year, but the fight over the controversial UK internal market bill has sourced relations this month. At the same time, EU and UK officials were continuing talks on a trade deal, going into detailed negotiations over everything from fisheries rights, state aid rules, and legal oversight in case of dispute. That said, thanks for watching, and do so again if you can. Until we meet, do take care and stay safe.